Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Round 12, Pony Express, an open wheel for amateurs here tonight from Oulton Park. Myself, JR, and Mr. AJ is joining us once again. Welcome back, AJ.
Yeah, man, it should be a lot of fun. It's the first time ever being here, and it's a big racetrack. It's about 2.5 miles, a little over that, 17 turns, and should be a lot of fun.
It is. It's one of my favorite tracks. It's got some pretty tricky sections. It's got a amazing little tight chicane section, followed by another tight little chicane section, and it inevitably catches a lot of people wrong. In fact, I believe Mr. Brad McCombs here, who we're checking out, is coming up to that first one, and that comes up over a hill and right into another one. So it is a great pace for overtaking and a great spot for people to hit those barriers. AJ, it's a fun track to drive, and we are in what might. So Pony Express this season, AJ, I don't know how much you follow the endurance for amateurs and the open wheel for amateurs, but we have got an amazing points battle here tonight for the season. Got one more round after this, but we have David Lehman leading the points, followed by Steve Rubens and Dennis Diaz, and I think we have 16 points separating the top three, AJ, after 11 rounds.
Oh, wow. That should be really interesting, especially with this being the second to last week. A lot of ground to be gained. Denny Diaz, your first driver to put down a time of 1:27 flat.
Yeah, and I have no idea where that is going to stack up. David Lehman, who is nice to see David Lehman. He was reportedly not going to be here. Thought he was going to have to withdraw. Had some things going on in the real world. But nice of him to be out here today. Hopefully he's able to put down some lap times. And he is in a battle for both the open wheel for amateur title and the endurance for amateur title. So he is he's got some things to do here this week, AJ.
Yeah, just as 3 drivers put times up, 4 drivers now, Denny Diaz is a second faster than any of his contenders.
Yeah, he is definitely a man on a mission. Looking, he's got a few points to gain. He's 16 points back of David Lehman right now, but
is just done at 126.
That won't take
look
much.
at Andrew Hammonds. Minute 26.8, about 0.2 faster than Denny Diaz. Great lap by Hammonds.
And Hammonds is actually, he's 29 points behind, but with 2 races to go, he could very well make that up.
Yeah, you need to be good on the track, and you need to hope for a little luck your way when it comes to the people you're driving against to maybe have them have some bad luck.
And then just as we talk about that, Diaz puts in a 126.4.
Good lap. Very good lap. We see qualifying, the driver that had the fastest practice, I apologize, was Andrew Hammonds at a minute 25.6. That is about 0.2 faster than both. Where is he? Joey Villamoretti and Denny Diaz.
He is orange through the first sector, purple through sectors 2, 3, and 4, and now he's green. Coming up to the end here, looks like he is putting in a heck of a lap here, AJ. He might jump on the pole yet. These guys are picking up about a second on their second lap. So, see where he crosses line with a 126 flat, AJ. What a lap by Alexander Hammonds here tonight. Oh, and did we lose AJ?
No, I'm still here. I apologize.
Okay.
I was taking a drink.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of pauses and stuff tonight. AJ and I are both stuck with this cough that will just never go away.
It stinks so bad.
Yeah, as the tires heat up, you can definitely see these guys are picking up some pace. As Alexander Hammonds puts in a blistering 126 flat. It will be exciting to see how these guys race. AJ, this track, you start off with a hard blind right-hand corner, followed by a really sharp, 180-degree left, and then it's just turn after turn, and it's uphill, off cambers, a lot of really technical sections through this track. It's really fun to drive, but man, you can get it wrong in a hurry, AJ.
Absolutely. Looking at the track map that you have on screen, there is going to be a lot of very fast straightaways to very sharp chicanes.
Yes,
that can cause a lot of issues with a lot of drivers and should end up being a lot of fun when we get, right around each other.
Yes, and even those sharp chicanes, they're really high speed. A lot of blind exits, off cambers. You kind of get everything with this track, which is why a lot of guys really like coming here. It does provide for a lot of great racing because there are quite a few places you can pass. As we're on here with Mr. Zachary Maxson. In fact, he is coming down into one of the biggest overtaking spots down here on the back half of this track. You're going to see a lot of passing there because then it gets into this, as we talked a little bit earlier, AJ, it comes into this really hard chicaners. We're going to jump on board with Mr. Maxson and see what he sees out of his. And you can see it's really hard to see these entries. You can see those big, I don't want to call those tire barriers because if you hit them, they don't move. I think it's black painted concrete to look like a tire barrier because you hit those in iRacing and they don't move.
Yeah, I was in practice right as it started, and Brad McCombs was the first driver that it populated to. And I watched him go driver's side. I mean driver's side, so he's on the tires are vertical right into a barrier, and it just explode the F3 car.
Yes. Those barriers do not move. They look like tire barriers, and you think there'd be a little bit of forgiveness, but there's not. Well, AJ, it looks like we got everybody's put in their laps. As Alexander Hammonds is on the pole, Dennis Diaz on the outside, row 1, followed by Jay Smart, Stephen Thompson, your current points leader, David Lehman, on the inside of row 3, right next to Zachary Maxson, Stephen Rubens, Joey Villamoretti, Brad McCombs, and I'm not sure who's lining up to Brad. It doesn't seem to have populated. So we'll let these all get populated.
So let me ask you this, JR. If you are David Lehman, who is our points leader, correct? Or is it...
He is currently the points leader, yes.
Yep. What does he have to do to pretty much contain and maintain that lead he has? Because as we've seen these last couple weeks, Denny Diaz and a couple other drivers slowly creeping up to him, allowing for tonight there's only a 16-point lead.
Well, he's really got to make sure that he doesn't completely give away the championship tonight. He has to, he's not 100%, but he's got to try and make sure that he gets as many points as he can. He can't.
Well, here we go.
Oh, are we underway? And
yes,
there we go. iRacing, come on.
And Zachary Maxson is starting from pit road, which honestly, some days might not be a bad idea.
And you can see right off the bat, Dennis is trying everything he can to get around Alexander because he knows how fast Hammonds is tonight. These guys on some seriously cold tires. As you see, Jay Smart and Mark Dillon had some great qualifying here tonight. Everybody's pretty close. But you already see Alexander, he is starting to stretch that out. Oh, Dennis gets in there hot, AJ. He is trying everything he can. As everybody looks like they're going to get through clean so far. No issues, which is good to see. See some lockups and some tire smoke.
Yeah, a little off track there from Hammonds.
Yep, and he may have a slowdown. And this is going to be tight. You're not going to fit 2 cars into there.
Well...
Oh, they did. Nice driving by those two.
That's what happens when you drive with people all year round.
Yes. Oh, we have an incident in the back. Let's see what happens to Tony Watson. Coming down into that first chicane. Oh, he just gets in there a little bit too hot. Going to use that runoff and try to find a way back onto the track, but... All right, and here we are back up front, AJ. Dennis Diaz going to lead us around for lap 1, followed closely by Hammonds and Smart.
Yeah,
And-
very close this top 3, but anything happens with these top 2 or 3, you bet your exhaust that other people are going to take that spot.
Yeah, Hammonds, who is 4th in this championship, he knows he needs every single point. He is not going to be waiting for a mistake. He's going to have to push the issue here just a little bit tonight if he wants to get up into the contention for this season's championship. As we see David Lehman has dropped back a couple of places. Hopefully he's able to find a rhythm and come away with some solid points tonight to help with his championship. And Dennis looks like he's pulled out a little bit of a gap here over Hammonds. Hammonds seems to be pushing a little bit harder than normal, and he's making a few mistakes here and there, AJ.
Yeah, just about 0.4, 0.5 of a second back. Hard charging right now. But Denny Diaz, probably the most consistent through each and every corner. Hammonds has some decent corners where he'll gain a little bit of time, but he'll lose it in just a couple after that.
Yeah, oh, and we have Zachary Nurberger. Let's see what happened to Zach. Coming
Both
down.
leaders off track for a second. Back on track as of right now.
Oh, Zach just gets clipped there as we see that. Well, looks like Danis was able to keep that on track, though. That was nice to see. Our top 4 starting to spread apart. Oh, Hammonds gets in there a little bit hot, a little lock up.
Doesn't lose a lot of time, but yeah, you don't want to keep locking up those tires because you will flat spot one of them, and that will mess up the handling of that car.
Yeah, it does play a major role, especially now. This isn't. Oh, you see Hammonds again gets in there a little bit off.
And here comes Jay Smart.
And Jay
right
Smart's
to the
going to
back
come
bumper.
in. Hammonds is able to fight him off a little bit, but that's allowed Diaz to pull out. I would imagine next scoring and timing, he's about 7/10 ahead now. Not what Hammonds was hoping to see here tonight, as these guys are running considerably slower. Now they do have a full fuel load, so they are going to get a little quicker as these laps wear on. And I don't know, AJ, if we're going to see a pit stop in this first race or not. I'm not sure what the fuel load is.
I'm not positive. I really don't think so. But we were talking about David Lehman and what he had to do to not lose points. He's 6 seconds back from the lead, minus 1 position from the start of this race.
So not bad. I mean, you know, he's going to stay right up there. What's going to be nice for David Lehman, as you see, Hammonds is right up on the back of Diaz again. Lehman's going to start up towards the front if he holds that position for race number 2.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you're pretty much throwing away the first feature then.
Yes.
And hoping that you can maintain your time and pace for the second feature.
Hammonds is giving a look to Diaz, letting him know that he's there. So far, nice, clean racing by everybody. As our top 2 have pulled away from Jay Smart a little bit. Mark Dillon Jr. a little further behind.
As I say that, David Lehman goes off track and loses 2 positions.
Oh, let's see if we
He
can
is
take
now
a look.
14 seconds back.
See if we can see. Oh, it just catches the rear end just on that grass. Well, that's really going to hurt. Now he's going to have to make up that position. Otherwise, he's going to be starting from the back of the field in heat number 2. is lap number 5, AJ. These top two. Now, Hammonds has made a few mistakes here and there, but he has not let Diaz get away. And you know, Diaz has to know that Hammonds has got the pace tonight, so he's going to be pushing as well.
Yeah, you were saying before we went green tonight that, you know, a lot of these drivers really enjoyed this track with how high speed and how technical it can be. And you're seeing it through Diaz and Hammonds. Actually, the whole field is pretty close together if you really think about it.
Yeah, they're all having a close battle here tonight, which is good to see. This is what, you know, what you want, especially coming down to the end of the season. These guys all know they need as many points as they can grab.
Yeah. Fastest lap of the race is Joey Villamaretti at a 1:26.4. Very fast.
Very quick tonight. In fact, we're back here. We see jumping on board here real quick with Mr. Steven Rubens. Now he is currently second in the points battle here. Behind by 13, or no, actually he is only behind by 10 points from David Lehman. So he's also one of those guys tonight, AJ, that just needs to have a good, solid finish, get as many points as he can. You know, he doesn't seem to have quite the pace that our leaders have, but he does have that little bit of buffer, albeit not much, over his third place Diaz. You know, 6 points, not a lot, but it's a couple positions on the track though, AJ. So Steven's got some work to do tonight. We're back up here and we see Diaz and Hammonds are still in that same running order. Looks like Hammonds has kind of settled in a little bit, able to stick right on the back. Oh, as he's got a big off track there. Lucky able to keep that thing on without losing the whole car.
Yeah, he's still about a half a second behind, which is very good after what we just saw on track.
Yeah, I mean, Hammonds has definitely had, you know, he's already had 5 off tracks, and he's still in this position. I'd be curious, AJ, what kind of pace he could run if he was out in front.
I think the off tracks are actually helping him keep, you know, throttle up, because he's not getting off track by a lot, just enough to where he can extend the throttle point.
Yeah, he's definitely using all of the track. As you see, Diaz puts in the fastest lap, a 1:26.2. So we're starting to burn off some fuel. These tires are probably at about their optimal right now, wouldn't you think, AJ? 7 laps in?
Yeah, we're getting to the point where the tires are going to be the best, but we're also getting to the point where the tires are really going to start to degrade.
Yeah, they definitely do that. They are, you know, they do run the hard compound, so they do, in theory, last longer, but man, there's a big difference when you put on a new set of tires and you get a couple laps in them. As we see, Joey Villamaret has managed to get past Mark Dillon, moved his way up into 4th place, and he is about a second, almost 0.8 of a second a lap faster than Jay Smart in front of him. So be curious to see, AJ. He's got plenty of time. We still got 15 minutes left if he can close that gap.
Yeah, we're clicking time off really fast, especially since we're doing about 1.5 minutes a lap. So you're looking at 2 laps every 3 minutes.
Yeah, as we see Mark Dillon jumping in the pits. So I'm going to guess, based on that alone, that, AJ, everybody's going to have to do a pit stop tonight. These guys are just trying to find a way to get in the pit stops and come out into on some clear track so they can run some good laps.
Well, depending on how everything works, they're pitting at the 10-minute mark, which is less than halfway of this stint. Or you think they're just pitting to pit and be done with it, or do you think they might have to pit twice in the second feature?
I think Mark is probably just pitting to get it over with. You know, they're probably 3 laps short would be my guess. And so he probably just thought, well, this is a good spot to pit. and get his pit stop done and over with. I would think that in the second feature, it'd only be in 10 minutes longer. We are probably just going to see one pit stop there as well. If I know Mark Dillon, he's set this up so it's one pit stop for both, just to add that element into the. But you see, Joey is right on the back now. Jay Smart, he's reeled him in, AJ, in a matter of a lap.
Yeah, this is insane. This battle for the lead.
Yeah, let's jump over to that as we see. Oh, Alexander Hammonds with a blistering 126 flat, AJ. That is faster than his qualifying time. And Villa Moretti.
Yes, it was.
Villa Moretti has managed to get past Jay Smart. Let's see how that took place. As he gets a great run coming off that first corner and just powers right past.
And there goes Alexander Hammond to the lead.
Let's take a look here and see what happens as he just gets the inside, pushes Diaz wide, and he's got that inside line. Nice pass by Hammonds. As Diaz is not going to let him get away with that easily, though. Diaz has the inside, but now he's going to be stuck on the outside. Nice racing by those two. Make sure that we're live here. Sometimes it gets stuck and we are in replay mode. I've had that happen before, AJ. That is not fun.
Yeah, no. I've done that a couple times. Or accidentally muted my mic and didn't realize I muted my mic.
Hammonds gets it way too hot, AJ.
Yeah, and he's going to lose a lot of time because of it.
Oh, that is... Let's take a quick look, AJ, and see if we can find out what happens as he comes in. He just locks up the front end and is unable to make that turn.
He's done that multiple times tonight where he's locked up the front end. And DS Player Boy is saying, what a battle so far. You are correct. And Nami Lay, good luck to everyone. Hey, can't wait to see you for the NASCAR for amateurs or whatever you whatever else you do on the Pony Express side.
Well, AJ, that was I wasn't expecting Hammonds to feel the pressure that fast. I thought for sure he was going to get out there and start running some laps.
And neither did I. But then again, we've seen him lock up the tires multiple times going into these quick chicanes.
Yep. And so, that last corner there, AJ, we talked about it. It's so fast and it's off camber coming up the hill. It's easy to lose some downforce.
And I think that's all Denny Diaz needed. You know, hey, if you can get by me, get by me. You're just going to make a mistake.
Well, I'll tell you one guy who is on a mission tonight. Brad McCombs coming out of nowhere, up 8 spots with a chance to battle for a 3rd place here tonight. Brad has been picking up a lot of pace lately in the endurance for amateurs. He finished
not
second.
Just a 4th. Oh, well, he passes Steven Rubens there. So yeah, he's battling for a podium in the first feature right now.
Yeah, Brad McCombs is on the move here tonight. As we jump back here with Diaz and Hammonds. Hammonds, he's managed to recover, AJ, and he has cut that lead. He's back under a second.
Yeah, but he probably lit up those tires good when he had to slam on those brakes.
Yeah, I'll be curious now. These two are still going to have to pit. Oh, and Brad McCombs has had a big crash. Let's see what happens to Mr. McCombs as he is right on the back. Oh, just gets it wide and oh no. Oh, McCombs. Nice save. Able to hold his position. As we're back here with the lead guy. Sorry about that, AJ.
No, you're fine. I'm just seeing how this is going to affect Alexander Hammonds with the off tracks, with the tire lockups, to see if he can actually fight back to get back to Denny Diaz. Or did Denny Diaz do exactly what he needed to, and will definitely be able to keep Hammonds at bay now?
Yeah, it looks like Hammond's
Steve
kind of.
Rubens is on pit road.
There was Steven Rubens coming into pit lane, our second place overall in the season battle here this year. As Diaz and Hammonds have managed to stretch out 9 seconds over third place Joey Villamaretti tonight. So these two are definitely the class of the field, AJ. They have came to battle tonight amongst themselves and leave everybody else behind.
I would say that too, but look where Joey Villamaretti and Brad McCombs came from, 7 and 8 positions back. If they were up front to start this race, I think it'd be a very fast 4-car Dallara F3 battle.
I think you're absolutely correct. And judging by their best lap times, they definitely have the pace to battle with these guys. Well, lucky for us, AJ, if they hold serve, they are going to start right next to each other. And Hammonds almost gets into Diaz coming into pit lane.
I thought he did.
Oh.
Could have just been very close.
Yeah, Hammonds is definitely going to be thinking, I need tires, I need tires, I need tires.
Yep, and Villamaretti and Brad McCombs come out too. Hammonds does not take tires.
Oh, Hammonds. Well, AJ, we have... Oh, and Diaz spins it in pit lane. Oh, what a shame. And now he's going to have a big off track again. Oh, no.
Unsafe pit exit. Is that a pass-through?
Yes, I believe that is. Oh, what a disaster for Diaz. And we talked...
that helped out?
Well, do you see? It really helped out Mr. Mark Dillon.
It did, but it also helps out our points leader, David Lehman.
Oh, yes, it does. We are going to see here what kind of penalty.
Because you have Steve Rubens back in 5th place, and you also have David Lehman, who's our points leader, back in 8th place. If Denny Diaz has to come down and serve a penalty for unsafe pit exit, it's going to negate some of the points he would have gained on both of those drivers.
That is correct. As we are going to actually ride along here with Mr. Diaz, and we'll see if he's got to come and serve a penalty. Unfortunately, we are not on the radio or the race control, so we are going to find out just like the viewers here tonight. Now, do you suppose some of that was caused by, well, he's not pulling in the pits now, was caused by the fact that Hammonds didn't take tires and got out, and Dennis knew he had to be quick to catch up to him?
Yeah, it very much could have been. They've been battling all race, and just be like, he's out, what? And just needing to hit your marks and trying to get too much on exit.
Well, now we've got 5 minutes to go, AJ. Hammonds just needs to keep all 4 tires on the pavement. He's not under pressure. He's got 3.5 seconds over Mark Dillon, who just ran a 1:26.17. Mark Dillon putting in a amazing lap. And you see Diaz is still out on track, has yet to come in, and we don't know if he will have to come in or not. But he has Joey Villamaretti and Steven Rubens are right there. If he does have to, I don't know, AJ, he may end up coming out behind Zach Nürnberger maybe, or even Brad McCombs. He's going to end up in a battle, though.
Yeah, that's if he has to come in. Coming back towards the line now and is staying out again. Maybe there wasn't a penalty for it.
And maybe
I know
it was
normally if you unsafe pit exit, they give you a black flag.
Yeah, that was and he may just be racing until the very end, thinking he can come in and get lucky and serve that penalty and cross the finish line while he's in pit row. I don't think iRacing actually allows that, but be curious to see, but we will find out. Meanwhile, Alexander Hammonds has stretched his lead out to 4 seconds over Mark Dillon. And as it sits right now, Dennis Diaz in third place. But he has got some company coming in and closing in on him in the form of Joey Villamaretti and Steven Rubens. These two have certainly found some pace late.
They found a lot of pace, and if Diaz has any other issue, he's going to lose 2 more spots.
And Brad McCombs has managed to get into his pit cycle, and after that, what could have been horrific spin he had earlier tonight, is starting to close back in on the back of Steven Rubens. So Brad is really got some pace here tonight again. Nice to see.
Oh, it's great to see, especially from the beginning of the season to now. You're seeing a lot of improvement with a lot of these drivers, and it's just going to carry on till next season as well.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. They're actually switching to the IndyCar next season, so that'll be an interesting change for these guys. And they're throwing in some Indy Oval races, so that'll be really fun. And I'm not sure, I haven't heard anything official yet about where those are going to be broadcast, but as soon as we get some word, I will let you know.
The open wheel for amateurs?
Yes.
I can tell you, because I know.
Oh, well, then please, AJ.
On Extreme Sim TV via my YouTube channel.
Oh, well, there you go. As we
They'll
see
be
Brad
staying
McCombs.
right where they are on Monday nights.
Awesome. As I will not be broadcasting next season because I will be on the golf course.
Sure. Wish I could be, but, need to make some money to go do that.
Oh, Zachary Nurberger, who is right on the back of Brad McCombs, has had a
His
big
vehicle is
incident.
done. Game over, man.
I like how it says that Zachary Nurberger has went off track. No, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't go off track. He destroyed. Oh. Well, at least the tire stayed on, and we didn't have a NASCAR incident. Oh, as we see, Brad McCombs has had an off track.
Oh, no, we were just talking about Brad McCombs and how well he was doing.
Let's see what happens here. He just, gets in a little bit too hot. Come on, Mr. McCombs. Keep that thing on the track. Here we see Mr. David Lehman. Actually, we need to jump back up here with Alexander Hammonds, who should be on, I believe, his final lap, AJ.
What it's looking like. Trying to see where he is on track. I don't know. It might not be his last lap. We'll find out right now.
Yeah, he's coming around to the start-finish line. And it looks like he is going to have one more lap to do because he was... Well, maybe not. It's going to be close, AJ. Checkered flags coming out. As we see, Alexander Hammonds takes first place here tonight in heat number 1. Nice race by Alexander. Some good pit strategy that I think helped him in that battle.
Well, I think it would have been a lot closer if Mr. Denny Diaz didn't spin coming off a pit road.
Correct. In fact, here we see Dennis, and apparently there was no flag or penalty for that. Joey Villamaretti coming in 4th. And Steven Rubens in 5th.
Brad McCombs in 6th. David Lehman in 7th. And starting on pole for feature number 2 is Tony Watson. Starting 9th for feature 2 will be Zachary Maxson. 10th is Stephen Thompson. And 11th and 12th is Jay Smart and Zachary Nurberger. So it should be really interesting now that David Lehman is going to start 2nd while Tony Watson starts 1st.
Yeah, it will be It'll definitely be an interesting to see how much pace David Lehman has in race number 2. And well, AJ, since we do have 3 minutes for the start of the race, let's take a quick commercial break, even though we're not actually going to play any commercials. And AJ and I will be back to get you started here for heat number 2 on the Endurance for Amateur Series on the Pony Express YouTube channel. Welcome back, everyone. Told you AJ and I would make it back just in the nick of time, AJ, as we get ready for heat number 2. Should be, if it's anything like heat number 1, this is going to be great watching Alexander Hammonds and Dennis Diaz come through the field.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it happen. It's going to be very interesting to see if they can make it through. I fully expect them to be able to. It's just how long does it take, and does it take any bumping in these F3 cars, because bumping does not mix with any of these cars.
No, it definitely does not. But we are getting ready. Everybody is gridding up, AJ. Tony Watson, David Lehman, Brad McCombs, Steven Rubens, Joey Miller, Dennis Diaz, Mark Dillon, and Alexander Hammonds all were in the 126s at some point in time. So all of the top 8 do have the pace.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun to watch. And before we get going green, make sure you hit the subscribe button for the Pony Express YouTube page. Go follow them on Facebook and hit that like button, because I know it helps out the channel, and I know it helps out JR and the Pony Express guys. We're just waiting on Joey Villamoretti to grid before we get going. This should be interesting.
This is going to be 35 minutes of exciting and fun, and thank you for that plug-in. Don't forget, after this, ladies and gentlemen, stick around as AJ is going to rock the Pro 4 trucks.
Oh, Tony Watson goes early.
Oh, no, David Lehman's had an incident. Oh, no, Tony Watson. That is definitely going to be a black flag.
Yeah, he launched a little early there.
Oh, no. I have done that before, AJ. There is no worse feeling than that.
No.
Oh!
Car spinning. Is that Brad McCombs?
Brad McCombs has a big off track. Cold tires.
Oh, I feel very much for Tony Watson. I've done that in an F1 game.
I did it.
Just hurt your stomach so bad.
I did it the first time I got pole position in an iRacing race. I jumped the same thing he did. Oh, it was heartbreaking. Meanwhile, enough about AJ and JR's horrible racing. That's why we talk instead of drive. David Lehman has got himself into the lead here, followed by Steven Rubens, Joy Villamoretti, and Dennis Diaz. You know who I'm not seeing is Alexander Hammonds. I don't know if he had an incident at the start. AJ, I didn't see.
I think he just took it easy off the start.
No, he has had an off track. Let's see if we can see Alexander Hammonds. It's in turn one. Oh, he just gets into the back of Diaz, trying to avoid Diaz. Oh, man. Well, Hammonds has got a lot of work to do now, but he does have the pace. He's already up into 8th. Oh, Hammonds, that's gut-wrenching. We are on board here. David Lehman. Looks like Steve Rubens and Joy Villamoretti are having a battle, and Diaz is right on the back looking for a way to get through these guys.
Yeah, he 100% is. But I'm doing a little like looking in on Alexander Hammonds, and just in the half a lap we've run since Lehman took lap 2, don't want to shoot something that hasn't happened yet, but Alexander Hammonds is knocked off a half a second in about a half a lap.
Yeah, he definitely has pace. It'll be interesting, AJ, to see if he if Diaz, I think if Diaz is able to get clear of this traffic, though I don't know if it's going to be enough time tonight for Hammonds to make up that gap. As you see Diaz, oh, Villamoretti just pulls over and lets Diaz go by.
Interesting.
Wonder if he had an off track. There we go.
Well, that's kind of like pulling over, just not on pavement.
Oh, he had a big off track. Yeah, he ooh, he's lucky to save that thing.
Fastest lap of the second feature so far goes to Alexander Hammonds.
He is already getting close to those.
Almost a second.
Yeah, he is on pace. Unfortunately, he has got a long way to go.
35 minutes is a long time, though.
It is, and we do have a pit stop, and we already saw tonight what happens if you get on pit lane and have an incident.
Yeah, I feel for Tony Watson, though. Jumping the gun on that start, and he's already a minute behind.
Yep, Tony. Oh, gut-wrenching. That's just, we've all been, well, I shouldn't say we've all been there, because some of us are actually pretty good and don't do that. But
I've yet to do a standstill start.
Well, looks like David Lehman has definitely holding his own here against Diaz.
He is, but Diaz outbreaks him a lot of turns, and look at how he got undercut that a little bit, and now they're under 0.4 tenths of a second.
But we saw a lot of these guys, AJ, they were later in the race before they really found some speed. And these guys needed a couple laps to burn off some fuel and to get these tires really up to optimal.
Yeah, it was about, you'd say, maybe 7 to 10 laps before tires became optimal. And then we really started to see how racy everything got. But screw that. We're 3.5 laps in, and David Lehman and Dennis Diaz are all over each other right now.
Yep.
Oh, and here comes Villamoretti.
Yeah, Joey's managed
further behind, but in
recovered nicely from his near-death experience over there. That is one of those where the laundry service is not going to like getting Villamoretti's suit after this race. Looks like Diaz has got a run on Lehman. Lehman is blocking the inside, though. Not going to make this easy on Diaz. Oh, gets a little bit loose coming over the crest of that hill. Don't think Diaz is quite close enough, though.
No, but here they come back up to the line. Watch how they get into this first right-handed turn.
See if both of them get in there nice. Oh, it looks like Diaz is going to come up the inside down into this tight double left. And he's able to make the pass. And look at Villamoretti come out of nowhere with just a head of steam. He is going to get Lehman, and he is not going to stop at Lehman. Oh, lock up a little bit there, but I don't think that's going to hurt him, AJ.
That might not hurt him right now, but it might definitely hurt him a little bit later.
Well, you know, we saw these guys have a lot of lockups and a lot of issues, and it didn't seem, you know, we saw Hammonds with several lockups, and that obviously didn't seem to slow his pace at all. And speaking of Hammonds, he has managed to find his way up to 6th position now. We'll see Dennis got himself some clear track now.
Yeah, Hammonds is about 4 seconds back. That's insane from being almost 10.
Yeah, he was clearly in a worse spot than anybody.
I mean, he could see the leaders now.
Yeah, he is right there. In fact, we are going to jump on board because he is coming up on the back of Jay Smart and Steven Rubens, who are in their own battles. You see Jay Smart's going to get up the inside, and they touch, and off goes Rubens.
Oh, boy.
Oh, what a shame.
Did they touch, or was that just a lot of pressure?
No, I believe here we're going to watch the replay, and that it looked almost like maybe a little bit of net code. Let's see if we can... Well, I would love to pull that up on replay, but there we go. We are going to pull that up here. Steven Rubens has had an off track. Let's see if we can watch. Nope, that was definitely not... That was all net code. What a shame, too. Rubens was having a great race.
Yeah, I'd be upset about that, but nothing really.
Nothing new, but I'll tell you what, who's not upset. Alexander Hammonds has managed to get past Jay Smart. And 3 seconds behind Joey Villamoretti at this point, who must have had another off track. See if we can find out what happened to Joey. Oh, yep. Well, Joey has cut the grass on the left side of this fairway. Now he's cut it on the right side of the fairway, and he's cutting it some more on the right side. Joey, it's the black. You gotta stay in the black, Joey. All right.
Dennis Diaz putting out some flyer laps now. Giving himself a little bit of cushion with Joey Villamoretti.
Well, Joey seems to be having his own battle with Oulton Park's lawn care business. Hope they're not a union, Joey. You're going to get yourself in a little bit of trouble over there.
Looks like we have Steve Rubens and Tony Watson on pit road. As I say that, there goes Steve Rubens.
All right, we come back here to get live action. Again, we got stuck in that. Ooh, that's going to be... if those are scheduled pit stops, AJ, that's going to be right on the border of being able to make it the rest of the race.
I think Tony Watson... I mean, not Tony Watson. I think Steve Rubens is for damage. Tony Watson... actually, I'm not too sure about Tony's.
Villamoretti, once again... He is just about seen every piece of green grass this track has to offer, I think, AJ.
Well, maybe he wanted to get picked up by lawn care services.
Fastest lawnmower on the track. Oh, as we see, Alexander Hammonds has cut that gap to David Lehman to a second. He is on Alexander Hammonds, AJ. I don't know if you saw that. A 125.99.
Yeah, that's
the first man tonight
the fastest by a lot.
Yeah, he was clear of the field by over a second. You know what, AJ? Let's jump on board with the man. And we're gonna watch Hammonds here.
Oop, Joey Villamoretti off track, gonna go all the way back to 8th place.
Oh. Well, David Lehman and Alexander Hammonds got to be loving that. Oh, now Joey Villamoretti has crashed and in the pits. I'm surprised that car didn't overheat.
That's very unfortunate because he was running very well while he was on track.
He was quick. As we're on board with Alexander Hammonds as he's on the back of... Oh, David Lehman, you see a bit of a lockup there. The Hammonds he's a clean driver, he's fast, but he's got to know that he has got to get in front of David Lehman. He cannot waste any time, especially if he is going to have any chance at this championship. Oh, and he gets in a little hot. Woo, nice save. As this is the moment, the battle is Hammonds has got to recoup. So AJ, where are we racing tonight on Extreme Sim TV?
Watkins Glen, the Cup course.
Oh, well, that should be an interesting for the Pro 4 trucks.
Yes, it will be, and I'm very excited for it because I really enjoy that track, number one. I wanted to see him run the boot, but can't win all the time.
This is true. In fact, that's where both the open wheel for amateurs and the endurance for amateurs season. Oh, Hammonds gets in too hot.
What a drift.
That
What
was
a drift.
oh, that's going to cost him one, maybe two positions.
It 100% will, but you want to know something? That vehicle is still going in the right direction.
Yes, he whoa. Now Hammonds does need to finish in second place here tonight if he wants any chance at winning the overall. Because I think his AJ, I think his opportunity to catch one Dennis Diaz has disappeared with that mistake.
Yeah, unfortunately. Granted, there's still about 20 minutes left, which is still plenty of time. But you cut that lead down all the way from about 10 seconds right back to 8 seconds.
Yes. Yep. And Diaz is running 126 flats as well, so he has definitely found the pace. At this point, AJ, I think Hammonds just needs to concentrate, settle in, and worry about getting that second place tonight, which is going to secure him an overall victory.
Yeah. Which is going to be really handy when you try to cut down somebody's lead, but you need David Lehman and well, Steve Rubens is having a really bad second feature, but already in 10th place. But you got to recover a little bit if you're Alexander Hammonds.
Yep. You can't compound a mistake with another mistake. Get up there, get back on the back of J Smart. Pick off one position at a time. You know, he was just, I think he got just a little too impatient trying to make that pass on David Lehman. As we see, these three are in a battle for second place. David Lehman has had a nice recovery after, I don't want to say a disappointing feature one, but not up to his usual pace feature one, but we understand that with David here tonight. He's got another lockup, and that's going to bring Hammonds is going to take advantage of the lockup, and he's going to get in front of Jay Smart. Blocks the inside. Nice driving by Hammonds. Unfortunately for Jay, he got caught up in David Lehman's little mistake and had to back out, and that let Alexander get by.
Yep.
You can see Hammonds trying to make sure he cuts off the inside there so Jay Smart doesn't get around him. And AJ, it looks like we're right back to where we were 3 laps ago.
Pretty much. Just Dennis Diaz has about still an 8.5 second lead.
Yeah, I think Diaz has kind of run away with this. Unfortunately for Hammonds, you know, he by him not taking out Diaz in the front is going to cost him a chance at winning this race tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, unless Diaz has an issue on pit road like we saw in the I think the first feature where he spun coming out of pit road. Unless we see that, then I think it's all that 420 F3 car.
Yep, I completely agree. We're going to stick here with these 3 gentlemen. And hopefully this race will continue as a battle. As we see, Jay Smart's had a bit of an issue there going into that first chicane, and it's going to cost him about 1.5 seconds there. But that did allow Zachary Nürnberger, who is himself having a great race here tonight. And speaking of, you see who's made another good recovery, Mr. Brad McCombs, after having a horrific opening start to this second heat, has managed to, he's still down 3 positions, but that doesn't tell the whole story, AJ, as to Brad McCombs' night. As we see Dennis is pulling into the pits.
There he goes. Let's see if everybody else is coming. It looks like...
Oh, let's see if Hammonds can get in the pits tonight without... Oh! Ooh, David Lehman locked him up coming into pit road. And Dennis does not take tires this time around. He is in and out. Let's stay on Dennis. Make sure he gets out of...
a little bit there.
And Dennis is able to rectify the demons and gets out of pit lane without an incident. We're going to jump back here. We see Hammonds has managed to leapfrog David Lehman into pit lane. Mark Dillon, who has yet to make a pit stop. Well, I guess we know Stephen Thompson was he not in the pits already? Did he pit earlier from his incident, AJ? I'm not sure. I do not see him having a pit stop yet. So we still have Steven Rubens and Mark Dillon who have yet to pit. So that's going to cycle Diaz back to the lead, followed by Hammonds and Lehman. And we talked earlier, AJ, about what David Lehman needed to do tonight. And I think he's accomplishing that here on in the second heat.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. And you need to, if you're not good at a track, you need to be good enough to where you can stop the bleeding. And here comes Stephen Thompson.
As you see him locking up, it's a very tricky pit road.
The tight entrance too.
It is a tight entrance, and it's got a chicane in the middle of it for whatever reason.
And Sheriff Mark Dillon.
Yep, as we see Diaz is now cycled back into the lead. And there is Hammonds. And that gap is right around 8 seconds.
Yep.
So
just like it was before.
Yep. 15 minutes ago, Hammonds has got 8 seconds. I'd be curious to see what kind of lap times Hammonds can put in if he can claw that back at all. And how hard does he push it? Knowing if he stays where he's at, he's got the overall, so he's going to max out on points tonight.
Yeah, I don't think Diaz is going to push at all. Unless he absolutely has to, and I don't see that happening. Because Hammond has to put down qualifying lap after qualifying lap after qualifying lap. And then by the time Hammonds might get there, tires are burnt off. So I very much expect Diaz to win this second feature, but I don't think he should be pushing as hard as he can. Kind of save his stuff in case he needed it.
Yeah, he's got that 7-second interval. All he's got to do is watch that. Once it starts to get around that 3-second mark, maybe start to try to pick up the pace a little bit. The problem you run into, though, AJ, is you get comfortable and it's hard to get back into that fast pace. You know, once you get out of that rhythm, sometimes it's a little hard to get back in that rhythm. As we see, Hammonds has brought that down to 7 seconds already. AJ, this might very well be a battle before the end of this one. We still have 14 minutes left to go, and he is just eating away at the Diaz lead. Now, we both understand what these guys need to do, but as an announcer, I really hope he catches him.
Oh, yeah, so do I. Yep.
Would be really nice to see him. And you could see Diaz up there in the distance. So they are on the same, albeit not straight away here at Oulton Park. One thing about this track, there is no, there's nothing straight and nothing flat.
It's very hilly.
It is, but it makes you don't get the visualization that you're gaining on somebody because you can just never really see them until all of a sudden they're just there. As we see, Hammonds is back down into the 125s. Unfortunately for him, that was only 0.2 of a second faster than Diaz. And he's going to have to eat into that gap a little bit faster at this pace if he wants to catch up.
Yeah. When on those very fresh tires, oh God, he just did 0.2 in that one turn.
Yeah. Back here we see David Lehman, who's found himself in a comfortable third position tonight. Stops the bleeding. Not going to lose too many points here tonight. He does have a championship battle on Wednesday night as well, and unfortunately for David, that is not a couple of quick races. That's a hour and 40-minute endurance race on Wednesday night for David Lehman as well.
Yeah, those sound very long and very taxing.
Yes, and in fact, next year they're longer. They've added, they're going to 2-hour races next year. So, we see Zachary Nürnberger here running around in solid 5th position, followed by Steven Rubens. Followed by Jay Smart, Steven Rubens, and then our man, Brad McCombs, who has had had quite the race tonight. So,
Alexander Hammonds went off track for about a second. Now he's back on track.
But that's going to cost him, though. Let's see if we can catch a little replay of what happened. Doesn't look like it cost him too badly there, AJ, but nevertheless, when you're trying to catch a man who's as quick as Diaz, you do not need any issues whatsoever.
Yeah, no, you want to minimize the damage, and just by that, he lost about 2.5 tenths.
Yep. Now, he is slowly eking away at that lead, but he's going to have
10 minutes left.
Yep, he's going to have to hope Diaz has an issue up there. Although, like we said, at this, if they hold serve the way they are, Diaz will have a 3 and a 1, and Hammonds will have a 1 and a 2, and that's all that he needs to take the overall here tonight. But we just 10 minutes to go now. Diaz with a 1:26.6. See what we get for Hammonds. And we're not going to get
half a second faster.
Yep.
That wouldn't be enough. He needs to be faster.
He does. And yeah, he's slowly eking into that lead of Diaz, but Diaz is running, it almost feels a little bit more consistent. You know, he's not having those off-track incidents. In fact, Diaz has 0 off-tracks at this point to Hammond's got 12. So you can tell one of these guys is racing very controlled and one of them is pushing really hard. But Hammonds, he's a racer. He probably sees Diaz out there, and that's he wants to catch Diaz. And he wants to catch Diaz when, in fact, he really doesn't need to.
He doesn't, but a win feels so much better.
It does. Yeah, pulling the double is always better. In fact, it looks like that that gap is kind of stabilized there, AJ. It's holding steady about 6.4, 6.5.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Nothing really gained that lap. Let's see when Hammonds crosses the line. Was about 0.4 slower.
Yep. So he gave it back a little bit of that.
And it is growing. Almost 7 seconds now.
Yeah, maybe like
Burnt
you said
those
earlier.
Tires off.
Yep. Maybe Alexander burned what was left of those tires.
Thank you everybody for watching on the Pony Express Sim Racing YouTube channel. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet. I think we have one more race after tonight?
That is correct. Our season finale next Monday at Watkins Glen.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
Yep. So all 3 series, and again, make sure you stay tuned after this. Switch over to the Extreme Sim TV channel. Catch AJ as he is going to Watkins Glen.
Nope, it is not on the Extreme Sim TV. They don't allow us to dual stream anymore. So you're on my YouTube channel, NDNT AJ All Star 15. Search that up in the search bar, and you will find the stream in about a half hour.
You want to, what is that again, AJ?
NDNT, all capital letters, for like nerds doing nerd things.
Okay,
the abbreviation for
nerds things.
Yep, just the NDNT part.
Yep.
And it's going to be space AJ, capital AJ, All Star 15.
All one word?
Yes. The only thing that is separate is the NDNT. Yep. Looking at the battle now for the lead, it's 11 seconds. I think he very much burnt those tires completely up. And David Lehman is on his way to get to Alexander Hammonds.
Oh, yeah. Lehman has definitely. And I do not see where Hammonds has had an off track. I think you might be right, AJ. Pushing that hard might have cost Alexander a chance for the overall here tonight.
Yeah, because here comes David Lehman, and David Lehman's bringing Stephen Thompson right with him with just under 6 minutes left in the second feature tonight.
So what we thought was going to be a battle to see if Alexander Hammonds could catch Dennis Diaz is turning into a battle of can Alexander Hammonds stay ahead of David Lehman and Stephen Thompson to take home the overall victory tonight. I was not expecting this, AJ. You had mentioned he's going to burn those tires off, and I did not think there was going to be that big of a drop-off. As you see, his lap times have completely gone away. I mean, look at that car. He has got nothing left.
No, Lehman's just a half a second behind Hammonds.
Yeah, they are 3 seconds a lap faster. Well, this is great for David Lehman. He is thinking points.
Ooh, locks up the tires, though.
And poor Alexander Hammonds is just a sitting duck at this point. There is nothing he can do.
Well, he could do his best to protect, but
that's his only. He's gonna have to try to make that Valvoline F3 car as wide as possible. I don't know if he's gonna get enough drive out of these corners to be able to hold these guys off down the straightaway. It will definitely be exciting last 3 laps for Alexander Hammonds as he tries to hold on here. We see Diaz crossing to start lap 22. See what kind of lap times Hammonds puts down this time. Oh, there you go. He's managed to find 3 seconds that lap. As you start to see the lap times, even Diaz last time ran a 1:29.6. So tire degradation is really starting to affect everybody here, AJ.
Yeah, it very much is. Just under about 3.5 minutes left. It looks like it has stabilized to about 2 seconds, Hammond, and Lehman, the distance in between.
Oh, as Hammonds hits loose again. And these guys are doing all they can to hold on to these cars here at the end. Kind of starting to think maybe some of them aren't wishing they would have took those tires after all, AJ.
Yeah, no kidding. I wonder what happened to Dennis Diaz. He had a 16-second lead, and it's all the way down to under 10 seconds now. I know there's only just under 3 minutes left, so I doubt a lot will happen, but
yeah,
you never know.
He's not had any off tracks or incidents. He just ran a 1:29 lap time.
And that's probably to make sure he does not make a mistake.
And you see that.
Or if you think about it, he's slowing up his lap times to do possibly one less lap.
That may very well be the strategy, which would be some. So they're still going to have 2 laps to go. By my calculations, AJ, does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yep.
2 laps. If he is running this pace.
I don't know if I heard that right. Something about fuel.
Oh, did he pit? Not
did
enough
he take
fuel?
a full thing of fuel? I wish there was a way I could check that.
All I see is that he was in pit lane for 5 seconds. And he was way shorter than anybody else.
Oh boy.
I mean, by 2/10, 3/10 of a second, which in F3 cars is a lot of fuel. So he must be in fuel savings prayer mode at this point. Well, should have 1 lap left. He's
coming to the white flag right now.
He's got 1 lap to go. And he's 3 seconds a lap slower, but he still has a 5-second lead. So unless he runs out of fuel. We see Hammonds.
I could be wrong. I don't have it showing me who's talking, but I heard something about needing to save fuel if that was one of the drivers.
Well, if pit times or anything, it's definitely going to be our leader, Dennis Diaz. Because like I said, he was 2 seconds or 2/10 of a second faster than anybody else on pit lane. Unfortunately for Hammonds, unless Diaz completely runs out of fuel, I don't think he's going to catch him. Well, the twists and turns of iRacing, huh, AJ? You just never know.
But he's coming up to the final couple turns.
And if Hammonds wouldn't have had those couple of bad laps, who knows?
He would have been gone.
As we see Diaz here getting ready to cross the line. 2 turns to negotiate. Looks like fuel is not going to be an issue. As we see Dennis comes across. Unfortunately for him, it's going to be a couple positions short of the overall tonight.
Yeah.
But it is enough to get Dennis a 2nd place overall here tonight. 3rd place is one Mr. David Lehman. Followed by Zachary Nurberger, a nice race up 6 spots. Jay Smart in 5th. Brad McCombs with an interesting 6th place tonight. Stephen Thompson, Zachary Maxson, Looks like Steven Rubens and Mark Dillon Jr. are going to round out your top 10 here tonight, AJ. Great bit of racing.
Dude, it was a fantastic bit of racing, if you ask me. I am very much looking forward to, I don't want to say taking over the open wheel for amateurs next season, but I am very excited to see what other shows they get to put on. But before that happens, we still have Watkins Glen next week.
We still do. We still have the season finale here at the open wheel for amateur series. And let's see if... I'm not sure if we're going to get anybody down in the waiting room tonight as we wrap things up. And come on, show us something, ladies and gentlemen. SDK killing me here tonight. Well, again, everybody, check out NDNT AJ All-Star 15. Look up that on the YouTube channel. That is where you're going to find your Pro 4 Trucks race tonight as they're coming to you live from Watkins Glen. It's just a Watkins Glen week here on Pony Express Racing.
Yeah. I'm so excited for it. Should be a lot of fun. Gonna get you the link and put it in your chat right now before you close it up.
Perfect.
So people can click on it and head right over to the race.
Which should be getting ready to start here in a couple minutes, if I'm not mistaken, AJ.
Probably around 10 minutes, I think the lobby goes up.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Round 12 from Oulton Park. Your overall winner tonight, Alexander Hammonds. Second place is Dennis Diaz. Congratulations to those two gentlemen. As we are out of here, AJ, thank you once again for stopping by and joining me. And I look forward to seeing everybody Wednesday night for the Endurance for Amateurs season finale, and back here next Monday for the championship finale on the Pony Express YouTube channel. Thanks again, AJ.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Can't wait.
And we are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good evening.